from Motion VFX for hooking me up with the Cinematic Logos 2-pack they just released. You can catch it right now on promo. The link will be in the description. It's been a little minute since I did a video breakdown. Shout out to this viewer for recommending to watch the wick video by hpboyz. About the video, they had this cool like endless zoom out light transition. So today we're gonna break that down in Davinci Resolve. Now you can make this effect as long as you want. I'm gonna use 5 clips for this demonstration. First of all, I'm gonna select my clips, make Control D, then I'll select 5 seconds for my duration and hit change. Now I have a keyboard shortcut for this, but if you don't, you can go up here to edit, scroll down to delete gaps. I have the keyboard shortcut Control Shift D, which is not set by default. So if you click that, it'll delete your gaps for you. Now, there's one clip here. It actually starts off with the eye closed and then it opens up. I just want the eye open the whole time. So I'm gonna hit keyboard shortcut T. Then I'm gonna highlight this top part of the clip, click it, scroll to the left, and that allows me to move my clip without having to change the duration of the clip. So my clip maintains its 5-second timing, but I can basically get rid of the part where the eye is closed, or blinking rather. I'm gonna hit A on my keyboard to switch it back to my cursor. Next, I'll select my first clip. I'm gonna go into the color page. I'm gonna use the color page to mask out the part of the clip I want the effect to take place, and also track it. So I'm gonna grab the pen tool. I'm gonna strobe my mouse wheel to zoom in. The masking out this TV is particularly troublesome because of the static. It throws off your masking when tracking, and I'll show you a solution for that. For the masking of the screen of the TV, I wanna create a curve. So I'm gonna click here to start my mask, and then I click over here and drag, create that curve. They don't have to be perfect. I go through and make adjustments later. Then I just go through and repeat the process to create a mask. To make my corrections, I'm gonna click on this mask here. It's gonna bring up the little arms. If I move just one, it'll move both of them. But if I hit Control Z and reset that, and I hold Control on the keyboard, or I believe it's Command on Mac, I can use that to actually just move one set of the arms. So one I want to correct is this one. So I'm gonna hold Control and then just kind of bring it in, lift it up a little bit, create more of a curve. Now, once I have my mask, I'm gonna go over here to the tracking tab. I'm gonna track back and forward, and you'll see what I mean by the mask. Let's just pick it up on this static here. It completely distorts the mask and it loses track. Now, what I'm gonna do to actually fix this problem, I'm gonna go back into the power windows. Over here where it says transform, I'm gonna increase the size to basically incorporate pretty much the entire TV. And then I'll go back to the tracking tab, retrack back and forward. And since it's not solely picking up on this little static here, it's just picking up the position of the TV. It gives me a much better mask. Then I go back to the power window and I just turn it back down to the original size that I had it. Then I go back down here to softness. I'm gonna add very little softness to this. Around about 10 or 12 would be good. If you want to view your mask without the ring here, you can actually go over here to this little tab here, hit the drop down and select off. It'll let you better see your selection. So back here in the node flow, I'm gonna right click, hit add alpha point. I take this blue output and connect it to the alpha point, and it's gonna give me my mask. Now I can actually see it without the mask around it. So I go back over to this drop down, I'm gonna turn back on power windows, and I'm gonna drop down the mask just a little bit more. Make sure I'm just getting the screen, and then I go back and cut it off to view it again. That's pretty good there. I'm gonna leave it as it is. I'm gonna go back to the edit page. And in the edit page, what I wanna do is take this same clip, select it, hold Alt on my keyboard, move up to make a duplicate. Quick pause. Forgot to mention once you create your mask, you need to invert it. So I'll show you how to do that now. Go back to the power windows and I'm gonna invert this. So basically I want this to be transparent. So make sure on each one of your clips, whatever section that you mask out, you invert that mask. And then your top layers, go back and rename it. It's just gonna be the original clip itself without any masking on it. So now I'm gonna stack all my clips on top of one another. Let's just select, move on top. So when you get done, you should have your mask out clip and the original clip just stacked upon one another. I'm gonna hit Control A or Command A if you're on Mac. And then I'm gonna hit Shift F. It's gonna create a new Fusion clip, and I'm gonna take that into Fusion. If you're getting the value out of today's video, make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to this channel too for future content, and hit that notification bell. And so now in Fusion, you will see your clips all merged together. We're actually gonna delete these merges. So select them all, then hit backspace. I'm gonna move my media up, out, and I'm gonna disconnect this. I'm gonna grab a background node, take the output of it and connect to the media out. With the background node selected, go into the Spectre tab and bring down the alpha. Now I need to identify my clips. So if you don't have dual viewer on and you got a single viewer, just make sure you click that on by hitting this icon over here. I'm gonna select my media 1 and hit 1 on the keyboard. It's gonna bring up my clip. So basically I wanna go through and name my clip so I know which one is which. So I hit F2, From here, I'm gonna type in TV mask. Let me know this is the TV clip that has a mask on it. Hit OK. I select media 2, hit 1 on the keyboard. I just noticed my original default TV clip. So I hit F2 again and just type in TV. And I just go through and mask all my, go through and name all my clips rather. Now that I got my clips named, we can start stacking the effect. So I'm gonna take TV with TV mask, take the output of it, connect to the background. It's gonna create a merge. I'm gonna select the TV clip and grab a transform. I'm gonna make sure my playhead is in the first frame of the clip. I'm gonna go over to the inspector tab and I'm gonna zoom all the way in as far as I can go. I'm gonna readjust my screen. Then I'm gonna use my pivot points X and Y to actually center my screen here. And you can see the edges of my mask here. I went a little too fast, but if I was actually doing this for a client, I'll make sure I clean up the mask a little bit more. Otherwise, using the X and Y axis, I'm just trying to center this onto the screen. And of course, the size doesn't go in far enough, so I'm gonna go double click and type in 10. So now I have it zoomed in far enough where I have nothing but transparency, which is indicated by the checkerboard pattern. I'm gonna go back to the inspector tab and create a keyframe. Then I'm going to the very last frame of my clip, which is 115. Back in the inspector tab on the sides, I'm gonna hit this little white indicator here. That's gonna reset my clip back to the default setting, but it's also gonna create a little keyframe for me as well. So if I hit that, you know, this little keyframe indicator lights up. I play the effect back. It just slowly zooms out over time. Now I'm gonna open up the spline editor. I'm going to transform 1. I'm gonna click here to zoom to fit. If you want to get a better look at it, you can actually resize this. And I hit zoom to fit again. I'm gonna go down here to the indicator and select all. Then I'm gonna hit S on the keyboard to smooth. Bring this all the way back to create an ease out curve. And so with this curve here, the animation is gonna start off really fast and then slow down, thus easing out of the effect. So realign this, go back to my first frame. You know how it starts off really fast, then slows down over time. So now I'm gonna close the spline editor. Move this back up, I'm gonna grab my TV clip. I'm gonna take the output of it and connect it to the merge 1. It's gonna create me a new merge. Move this media 2 out the way. And what I wanna do from here is actually grab my transform 1. Using keyboard shortcut Control C. I'm gonna click on the TV clip. I'm gonna hit Control Shift B. That's gonna create an instance. So if I move this up, the instance is basically the exact copy, and no matter which one of these nodes I make a change in, the change will affect both nodes. So basically I want this TV clip, which is my original clip, I wanted to move at the exact same speed and everything as my TV mask clip. And of course you see they get rid of the mask, but I'm going to merge 2, and I'm gonna turn down the blend, which gets rid of the mask. And basically I want to find a point in which I want to set keyframes to animate that screen back in. So as it plays through and gets about right here, so about frame 10, I'm gonna set a keyframe at frame 10, turn it all the way up, go back to the original frame, turn it all the way down. So now as it plays back, the screen comes back into play. So now I'm gonna grab the next clip and repeat the process more or less. It's gonna be a little bit different. So take the output, connect it, make it a merge, grab a transform, and instead of the very first frame, see the screen animates back in around frame 10. I'm gonna go to about frame, I'm gonna give it about 10 more frames, go to frame 20 and create the zoom out effect for the eye. So I go in the inspector tab, I'll zoom in through the eye. I wanted to make sure it has enough space where it's not clipping one another. So I'm gonna go in here and still type in the number 10, a bit farther than what it probably actually need. Actually 10 might be too much. I'm just gonna type in 7. And then I'm gonna set a keyframe at frame 20. Once again, go back to the ending frame and set a default. So to play it back. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to recreate that same easing effect in my spline on transform 2. So now I need to create an ease out curve once again. I'm gonna go into the spline. If you see it showing more than one node and you want to kind of clean that up, go over to the little 3-dot menu here, click on it, and then select show only selected tools. Since transform 2 is the one I have selected, that's the only thing that's on show. I'm gonna zoom the fit, select all. I'm gonna hit S to smooth just to animate these little arms. And once again, pull this as pretty much as far as it can go. And basically you pretty much almost want to create a 90-degree angle. And so basically going forward, you're just going to repeat that process. When I close the spline, I'll grab my default clip, take the output, connect it to the merge, select that transform 2, Control C, select my next clip, Control Shift V to create an instance. Go into my merge, turn down the blend. Now since my transform starts at 20, about right here. I want the eye to come back in, so I give it 10 frames. So I go to merge 4, go to blend, set a keyframe, turn up the opacity, or turn up the blend rather. I go back to frame 20 and then turn it down. And from there, you're just going to continue the process until all your clips are done. Now for this clock clip, I actually wanted to do a little something different with it, where I actually create a rotation. Now the animation for my clock clip starts at frame 44. I'm gonna go into the expected tab, and on the angle, I'm gonna set a keyframe and type in 180. So around the time my clock comes back into place, which is like 64, I'm gonna hit the default key. That way, as it animates in, it rotates around. I actually want to rotate to the left, so I'm gonna go back to my first keyframe, or frame 44 rather, and here I'm gonna type in a negative 180. And it looks really robotic, so I'm going to the spline editor. Now, since I animated the size and angle, I have 2 different keyframes. I don't want to mess with the size at all, so I'm just going to box select these green ones, or you can actually uncheck size. That way it won't show up, and then you can select all here, and it'll just show your keyframes for your angle. And basically, I'm going to create another ease curve. It's going to be an ease in curve. If you want to as well, you can type in higher number. So I go in here and type in negative 360 and play it back. Get more rotation to it. Yeah, I think the 360 looks better. Now, the course of creating this effect, if you notice in the clipping, this is how you fix it. And what I mean by clipping, if I go back here to my transform 5, I'm gonna go to frame 86 where the car clips begin. Here I have it set all the way up to 40 because in the previous clips, I have it set to like 10, 15, 12, stuff like that. So if I go back and set this at 15 for the first frame, and I go back to my original clip, you will automatically start seeing parts of the car because all these clips are still playing at the same time. Now with this effect, you got to keep in mind that the video clips are playing throughout. So if you got a bunch of 4K clips, it's going to weigh down your computer heavily. If you edit on a 4K timeline, I would recommend creating like a 1080p timeline just for this effect, render it out, and just include it with your final render of your music video. So if I hit play, it's going to kind of move around because I changed the pivot point. And basically keep that from happening, I just increased this to, I am increasing this to 40 to make sure it's out of the way. Now the last step of the effect, you're going to grab a final transform node, hold shift, place it in your node flow. Go to your expected tab on the settings, motion blur, and set your motion blur. I'm going to set mine at 4 at 280. You can play around with it, see how you like the look of the effect yourself. We're going to go back to edit tab. We're going to let it render, so this little red line needs to turn blue. That means it's render cache, and then we can play it back with a smooth playback. Let me know in the comment section below how close you think I got to the effect. You can check out this playlist here for more music video effects.